admit it or not. How prevalent is that addiction, and how easy it would to point them in the direction of now medical marijuana?
I can't tell you how prevalent is the addiction. I'd be guessing. I don't know if that statistic is available for Trinidad. But what I can give you, a real statistic. In America, every 19 minutes somebody die of a prescription drug overdose. And nobody in history can tell you of one person who died from marijuana overdose. Right? So, a lot of anything where helping you to sleep, most of them, you can get addicted to. Right, the same Valium and all them kind of things, right? Ambien and whatever. Anything, the strong painkillers, anything with a opiate, petidine, even codeine and them things. You see people taking things like for migraine, Sindal and thing, right? It have codeine in it. You can get addicted to them things. And people who have serious pain, like, terminal illness and things. And so with terminal ill people, it's not a problem. If they get addicted, it's not a problem, right? The important thing is to keep them as comfortable as possible. So if them have morphine, is alright. In England we used to get diamorphine, which is heroin, and it worked really good when you don't have nothing else to do. Okay, they used to have a patch called Duragesic, I don't want to call the name wrong, but it was a patch that you put on and it released the morphine slowly, and every 3 days you put on a new patch, right? So there are places with that, but most of the addiction to it is very high. But in a terminal sense, worry about it. But if you take in some painkiller, right, you can easily get addicted. Not the NSAIDs, you have something you call NSAIDs, but anything which is called a opiate, is strongly addictive. All right. I would think you can even get addiction just to a painkiller, even if it's not an opiate, because every time you have a little thing you need to take something. Steroids, right? Like itching and things. You can get addicted to them things too. Even they say that even people on hormone replacement therapy. People, like you see it, I don't see it here somewhere, but you used to see it in England, where people need more and more. So the menopausal, and you get the hormone, the estrogen, right? Your libido good, you feel better, the vagina moist, and everything, and so on, more and more. So it reached a point where they want too much. They call it tachyphylaxis, like they want 2 and 3 times the amount, and you have to gradually bring them back down. So almost anything we use, especially if it's effective, you could get a addiction to it, whether it be physical or psychological, right? And about marijuana, the addiction potential is extremely low, as we talked about last week.
Professor?
Yes, I would endorse what Dr. Patton just said. I mean, I think we've seen, as I mentioned last week, we've seen people addicted to cough syrup. We've seen a number of people addicted to painkillers, from the opiates to things like tramadol, even to things like Panadol PM. There are people who've become addicted on those things. There are people addicted, of course, to all these sleep agents, Ambien. I mean, I've seen people who take up to 30 Ambien a day.
Jesus.
And and find all kinds of ways to get it. Have accounts in 15, 16 different pharmacies. So and these are people who are apparently functioning well in society, and of course are able to afford it, because to be addicted to these prescription drugs means that you have to have money to buy it. So that certainly is a real problem. We don't have any hard statistics in terms of numbers, but I would think that it is a problem that is probably under-recognized and is going to continue to pose a lot of problems to the society, because, as we said before, things like insomnia, things like pain, because pain is also something that is significantly psychological. And if you're in a bad situation, you're unhappy, if you have a problem that causes you pain, the pain is going to be worse, and you'll need more and more medication to manage it, and the chance that you become addicted becomes much higher. So these, and as Dr. Pointer said as well, these drugs are also dangerous, so that in taking them in high doses, even something like Panadol PM damages your liver if you take it in excessive doses. So these are real problems that the the medical profession to some extent and the wider society probably don't fully appreciate. But I think it's something that we will have to take more cognizance of as time goes on.
6224911, 6224911. Let's hear you now. You have your chance. Any question you may have or comment from what you heard. Good
Hello.
evening. Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Yes.
Hello, guys and doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, what is happening here? In 1970, we had a revolution. Right? When you look at every corner, you can see an entrepreneur. All little black people starting to, all black boys and girls starting to have their own thing going. Who making slanders, who carving, everything. You have got the job before evening. Now, in them days, cooking wasn't going, but after 1970, the cooking flooded the market. Now, they are started up the middle class because it's 100 stores and 50 stores. The poor man couldn't buy it. You understand? So when the poor fellas came, bank clerks, air hostesses, all these people using drug teachers, using cocaine, the little man want to use it too. So that's how the turn more come into play. To mash up. This is the thing, is to mash up the black man. When you come in the black community, especially the poor people, some of them are no fathers. They are on the street. What do you want to do? Legalize marijuana now? To destroy our community? No! I am against it. I am recognized. I am a victim of the cocaine. I was a technician. I used to do my job. I had banks. I had people working with me. And because I could have walked up the liar and buy. And I could have gone here and buy. Because I had the money. It got us some fun. Can I come and have it? Can I come survival? Come on it! Tell the doctor, because people in Jamaica.
No, let me reply to that.
No, Doc, before you reply, let me tell him something. I don't know how people, I don't know if the English, somebody said the English language failed us in Trinidad and Tobago here, and I want to believe so, because at no point in time you ever hear anybody here advocated for legalizing anything. We were discussing the pros and cons, and it's a discussion that's going on around the world. Hence the reason why we're still so backward in our thinking, because Doc, go ahead and respond.
No bother.
I mean, it's amazing. This is an adult who just called in.
We do have another caller. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, good afternoon, Dad and Natasha.
Good evening.
Good day.
First, I want to compliment you all on the award that you won recently.
Thank you very much, sir.
That I'm locked on and listening, and the explanation by the doctor and the professor, they're quite erudite in the explanation, and don't get detracted by detractors,
Oh, Jesus.
Our job to do, go ahead and do it. You're doing a good job.
Thank you very much.
I regard to Vanessa also.
Okay, sir.
And Professor and the doctor.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, good evening. Sorry about that. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
What I look at there is that when drugs on the whole, or the war against drugs, the economics of it, the economics for the war, because remember a gun has a cost at that rate. The arms manufacturers has a lot to do with this, say, with lobbying and things in America. As we know, America put in this thing here because I've seen several times, I had commented, only to 10 miles in the bush to burn down ganja, right? To cut down ganja. But to walk a block from a station, they can't walk because you have a vehicle. You see? Another thing is, the fellow who called first, right, and talk about the cocaine and link in marijuana, right? That there was a drug report published in 1971, I don't know if anyone already know about it.
No.
It was published in 1971. I had a copy at one time.
You mean a local drug report?
Yes, there was a drug report published in Trinidad.
Drug report?
Were you talking about the Scott drug report?
No, in 1971 it was published.
What it said?
It said there was a thing, but the significant thing what I remember is that Allegations were made against a senior police officer.
It is called drug reporting.
No, it's before the started report. The started report was in the 90s. This is 71 I'm speaking about.
Okay.
Right? The former government commissioner, a guy they call Arthur Walker, was the chairman of the commission. Right? He was the pharmacist in, well, you all would know about, but in Abercrombie Street, that was before Duke Street, there was a doctor called Albert Phillips. And he was the pharmacist there after he retired. And I spoke to him about it. But allegations were made against a senior public police officer, right? But no concrete evidence was evident, right? Was put in the evidence center, right? No, I have my suspicions who it is, right? You know, and that if you link with the cocaine and the when marijuana used to be very much suppressed in the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s and things like that, right? And you see the rise in cocaine, what the gentleman said earlier. You watch the man called Naeem Nair. He was put in jail instead of put in jail all of a sudden, right? And another man come up and said, get the cocaine, the contract, the franchise. Who that fella was, right? And how he was connected to who. You see?
All right, caller, thank you very much. We have a lot of calls on the line. Thank you for your contribution. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Anybody could force you to take drugs.
Say that again?
Anybody could force you as an individual to take drugs.
No.
Well, not me, but probably people out there, yeah.
It's also, well, yeah. I live in the area. I live in the area where almost everybody's father, everybody's smoking, and I never smoke. I mean, people ask me, you know, my friends and them ask me, you want a joint, but I say nah. I never tried. I never liked one for nobody, and I'm an age person now. I never smoke, you know. Never smoke a cigarette, no hemp. In those days, it was hemp, and a little black one.
Now, Tommy, before you hang up, you I mean, the world knows by now that you are a blind person. If you get out opportunity to, even from smoking a joint or getting an injection in cannabis oil that could make you see again, would you take it?
No.
You won't take it?
I'm not taking anything.
So you don't want to see again?
And one of the things I never do.
No, I'm asking. So you don't want to see again?
No.
All right. Thank you for calling. Thanks. Thanks very much. No, I mean, no. Hold on. Remember, they said glaucoma patients. Remember, glaucoma patients. They use.
We don't know how we got blind.
Right. No, but I'm just asking in the context of, because if I get blind tonight and somebody tell me, hey, smoke a spliff and you're gonna see again, it was a doctor.
Yeah, well, that would be the logical thing.
Because I'm accustomed seeing.
Yeah.
And I'm asking, you know, if it is somebody suffering, they're blind and they get a chance to be injected with cannabis, they say Sativex, for instance. They take a shot of Sativex and you see again. You gonna tell me they won't take it?
No, well, listen, that would be the logical thing. So, if, for instance, I just like that, man. I grew up in an era where basically everybody smoke.
Yeah.
You know, plenty people smoke and this and that. I don't smoke.
Right.
I never smoke cigarette.
Right.
You understand? I mean, you think anybody could have forced me to do it. I think it's a small proportion of people who the peer pressure thing will, force them to do things.
And of course, those who predispose.
And so, yeah, who predispose.
Right.
And it's really a weak mind person. But if I have some serious illness where nothing else can work,
yeah,
and them say cannabis will work, of course I'm taking it.
Let's take another call. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good evening,
ladies
sir.
and gentlemen. But if I had to take the drug in the form, not to smoke it, but to induce it, like how you said in some oil form, I would take it, you know.
I mean, it's to get better. We all want to be well and live well.
Some of these herbs and all these things, they have properties in it that could cure sicknesses and diseases. So if it is that you can put it inside your body and not smoke it, then I mean I would take it.
Right.
Right. But you know what is the biggest drug in this country? It's not marijuana, you know. It's alcohol. And the overindulgence of it. You see every week somebody is a statistic in this country with regards to that. And up to yesterday, the police make raid somewhere there and they hold about 14 people under the influence. And that is a legal drug, as they call it. But people overindulge in the practices of that too much.
And it's a drug. It's a drug.
Yeah, it's a drug. I call it a drug.
Yeah.
Because you get addicted to it. You understand?
Yeah.
And you can't do without it until you have certain people singing. What? one bottle of rum today, and what kind of foolishness? And
That was a prescription.
They are giving people the habit of singing that foolishness and carrying on with that. I would advise he to drink 3 bottles of that and come back next year and see how he live looking like. You understand? No, but the people doesn't realize that we glorify these things and we sing all sorts of songs about it. But it does a lot of damage, more than any kind of drugs that it is, like marijuana and thing. But it is there for you to see.
Thank you, my brother.
We don't recognize it.
Thank you a lot. All right. One and just now. 100. Go ahead, caller. We are already.
Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
Listen to the statistics presented there, $190 and could be for $8 in Trinidad. And look at the amount of marijuana the police normally finds in every little corner. I think this could be a good boost for the economy of Trinidad and Tobago. And I think they should hurry up and get with the study in Trinidad, the universities, have some kind of institution developed here so we can start taking advantage of the opportunities that we are available by the use of this drug for humanity. And all that people would say marijuana this or that, or they wouldn't smoke marijuana, they wouldn't use this or that drug. You use a caffeinol. Do you know what is in caffeinol? Do you know what it was made from? We use several, we know what it is made from. Any product we go there, as a matter of fact, how many people know antibiotic is poison? It is a poison. So as far as I'm concerned, if I am terminally ill or I have some sickness and they say, listen, smoke it, drink it, swallow it, inject it, I will do what it takes to get better. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Professor Hutchinson, before we take another call, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to make the point about regulation, going back to the previous caller who talked about alcohol, because I think the key is how effectively it is regulated. Access 24 hours a day, the capacity to just walk into a grocery store and pick up a bottle, and so I think that is really an issue about regulation. A lot of the problems we have with alcohol are related to the challenges we've had in regulating its use and its availability.
Let's take another call, and Doc, we'll go to what you have there. Hello, good evening.
Good night, to the panel.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, the first person that spoke, don't worry too much about him, because this is how it is with our society. They lack of knowledge and information and know about the situation that have him thinking like that, although he was on cocaine, because he chose the wrong drug for a relaxer. He went on the wrong way. He the wrong decision. And then I from small, I had a childhood friend, and he had leukemia. And being so lime, little boys, we playing football in the savannah in the evening. When we had little lime and thing, we would go and we go buy a little one, because it was 50 cents at that time. And we come up with little chain and we buy one of his smoke. And he ended up smoking. His mother started complaining, go eating so much. And now he eyes so red. But she wasn't checking that he wasn't falling victim to the sickness, that he had too much often like he was when he was a younger child. And he diagnosed to die at 25, and today he's about 58. I'm telling you how good this thing is. Alright, I'm going to make room.
Alright. Yeah. You have another one? Hello. We take one more and then we
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
good evening.
I like that young summer, and I was so high, but I had a joint too. You know when I smoke the joint, like it neutralizes everything.
Well, one is a upper and one is a downer. So
Yeah, it neutralizes
Well,
it.
maybe we should discuss that in terms of what
It neutralizes it. Vanessa, this is Michael from Tranquil.
Yes.
Okay, good to hear you.
Alright.
I didn't think you should have done that though.
I just wanted to. This paper is marijuana and actual driving performance, and this is from 1993, and they organized a very elaborate, nice study where they're giving 3 different doses of THC, fairly high doses too. 100 milligram per kilogram body weight, 200 kilograms per kilogram body weight, 300 at THC. And you have and people who get alcohol at a certain level, and they give them certain tasks to do: drive on a straight road, drive behind a vehicle, or drive in normal traffic and thing, right? I can't explain the whole thing, but I just want to read something out of the summary and the discussion. Evidence from the present and previous studies strongly suggest that alcohol encourages risky driving, whereas THC encourages greater caution, at least in experiments.
I saw a documentary on television.
Yeah, so they were showing you, I mean, like last week it came up that if this thing legal, like somebody, well, Mr. Hines was saying that probably even with the driving and thing, and so it might be bad. But when you compare it with the effect of alcohol, it is far, far, far less impairment in terms of driving and motor skills.
I saw 2 experiments done. One on a shooting range and the other on a driving range.
Yeah.
And they just as you explained, they gave one person a certain amount of alcohol, enough to get him drunk, and the same amount in THC to the other gentleman. And the guy who got the alcohol knocked every cone down, everyone. And the guy who did the THC, he took his time and negotiated all the turns and the bends, and he came in without hitting a cone. They put them on the shooting range, and the guy with the pistol, they had to actually hold his hands after a time. He was drunk with the alcohol. The guy with the THC, he hit the target 10 times. So it shows the difference, and they compared it to now the road carnage and the people who drink are against the people who smoke.
Yeah.
Let's take another call. 6224911. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the program.
I am enjoying the evening to your guests and everyone. I am enjoying the program a lot. I have used marijuana for over 40 years. I train dogs, and I can remember in my time, it was very simple communicating with animals. In fact, it brings it to the point where you're almost on your level. I have never been bitten. I trained the worst of the dog, how big they could be. It was no problem. And I have seen people bitten by their own dog. These same dogs I control just because of the fact that being on the marijuana, it made me calm, no fright or anything like that, and I communicate with the animals like if they were mine. So there's a point with respect to what marijuana details. Now, I am not advocating that everybody smoke marijuana, but the point about it is what you use it for. An abuse of anything is harmful. That is what I have to say, gentlemen.
All right.
Very good. And I just want to say that he might be onto something here, because you see, when you're frightened and afraid and thing, and the adrenaline and noradrenaline and cortisol and all them things, and you start to sweat and thing, and so the animal can smell that, and in fact you can have an aggressive reaction to the adrenaline that they're smelling.
Right.
Whereas if, as he's saying there, he's calm. So him heart not racing, he not sweating, and he not pumping out adrenaline. The dog don't see him as a threat.
No, that ain't gonna work for me. I telling you, that dog will find out I can smoke a pound of weed. That dog will find out too, because I have a phobia for dogs. Hello, good evening. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
I was about getting real mad, because I think I addicted to this program. You see, addiction is a very, very serious thing. One time I was addicted to codeine, then power mint. Now like cashew nut. Every day I must have cashew nut. So, when coming to addiction, if you have that kind of nature, anything you like too much, you have to put a little distance. Even the men, But let's take all that out of it.
Yes.
Think about think about the money they're saving. The country will be saving from persecuting people, and the amount of revenue we could get from the tax. Also, the criminalization of marijuana is not legalizing it. So it's a whole different. Think about the criminals. The stigma we putting on young people, when we could send them rehab instead of just penalizing them or making them criminals. All those three things. And you talk about psychosis. Now, if you're going medicinal marijuana or you're going the peer thing, You know, they will take all those things that the additives they put in it, and at least you'll be able to get something a little better quality. Yeah, I know a lot of people, importers, pushers, could be vexed, but still, it's an important thing to realize. You're not saying go and smoke or legalize it, but decriminalize it and make and save money, make money, and save our young people.
Thank you very much, Kathy.
Hear.
Doc, I see you were nodding head in approval if somebody thinks that
she understand fully, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She say it, you know, the money we could save from not prosecuting people, jail and court and, you know what I mean, and transport with amalgamation, van every morning and all of that, right? Plus mashing up people life, prison police record is a stain and them can't get visa, jobs, so. And if it reached to the point where we could have an industry coming out of the thing, you could make money from it.
Right. 6224911, good evening. Sorry about that. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
What are you understand about the marijuana and life and purpose is that our problem is something spiritual. And without we going that way, we could never find a solution about what life is all about. As long as we leave out the spiritual part, we are doomed. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much, sir. And I always advocate spirituality too on this program. So thank you for sharing that again. Good evening.
Evening.
Good evening, traveler. Welcome back.
Thank you. Was Vanessa there with you?
Yes.
Vanessa, good evening.
Thank you. Good evening.
Well, the stranger is back in town,
Nice,
okay.
nice.
And good evening to Dr. Hutchinson. I know Dr. Hutchinson, you know, I spent 7 years in St. Anne's, not as a patient.
Okay, also clarifying that.
Not as a patient.
Hello.
Well, yeah. I must I am going to leave here as a member of staff and not to become a patient. And that did happen. I did leave. I didn't become a patient. And the other doctor there as well. Now, you see, the whole thing is this. We are a third world and we are developing. And we need to look at the research and look at what would have been taking place in developed societies. Now, it's not a one-size-fits-all. So what will affect one will not affect the other. It's like some people drinking alcohol from now till the cows come home and they'll be sober. And another person will start to take a drink and next half an hour he's drunk because maybe what he's predisposed to. I see it like how the U.S. money was at one time in Trinidad, where everybody used to be buying U.S. on the black market and all kind of things. From the time that stopped, you could walk in and buy how much U.S. you want. That everything just, became normal. So all the guns and all the negativity that is associated with it, we're seeing here people getting killed and feeling getting killed 3-4, getting killed in marijuana field and all that kind of thing. That will stop, you understand? So I think we need to look at it. We're not saying, yes, take the green light, but let us look at it and see what can happen, okay?
Thanks, Yvonne.
Have a blessed one.
Thank you very much. 6224911, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Next time I call, speak up, please.
Good night.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, so I had to come back to you. I just want to say something personal. Most of the people that use the holy herb, which is the cannabis, the marijuana, and they didn't have a proper balance diet, like eating properly. Most of them end up losing their nerves and going mad and things. Because it's one short thing that marijuana does do to you, is make you eat. And though, that people have a bad skin habit eating biscuit and feel like a belly full and drink a tea drink, those kind of bad eating habits. Instead of you get a nice plate of, peas and rice or peas and dumpling or something, or chew beef on your eyes, something that will fill you and to be the marijuana could work on. Not like a man want to drink sweet drink and juice and feel that will hurt him when he